Our next speaker is Laura Daly. She is the Director of Community Outreach for Spectrabustors. Please welcome Laura.
Wow, shout out to the sun, because yeah, that's free and that's warm. And shout out to Sierra Club, Amendment 1, all of you folks, these great speakers, because we got a great day in the middle of winter in Florida to do this. As Ryan said, I'm the Director of Outreach for these communities in Florida that have so overwhelmingly voted for this amendment. We work in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida to stop the Sabal Trail pipeline. Show of hands, how many people here know about the Sabal Trail pipeline? Okay, how many people don't know about the Sabal Trail pipeline? You know why? Because they don't want you to know about the Sabal Trail pipeline. Sabal Trail Transmission is a Spectra company from Houston, Texas. They're proposing a 36-inch methane gas pipeline through Alabama, Georgia to South Florida, and they're going to steal your land and my land through eminent domain to make it happen. Believe it. Oh, that's right. No. I'm telling you, Sabal Trail is going to tell you that natural gas is clean, safe energy. And I'm going to tell you that just because it's invisible doesn't mean that it's clean. To get that gas to the pipeline requires fracking. Fracking requires water, and lots of it. As of 2011, there were 27,000 shale gas wells in this country. Each well requires 5 million gallons of water, chemically treated with acidic and caustic chemicals to frack that gas and bring it to the surface. Some wells can be fracked more than 15 times. Of that 5 million gallons, 15% of the water is flowback and treated wastewater from previously fracked wells. 20% is water purchased from public utilities. And a whopping 63% of 5 million gallons is coming from our rivers, our springs, our lakes, and our spring sheds. And they're getting it for free. 27,000 wells times 5 million gallons of water per extraction is 135 billion gallons of water. That's enough for 12 million households. On average, there are 2 frack gas pipeline explosions every month in the United States, some with devastating results. Tell me that's safe. All of these numbers, all of these facts add up to a terrible return on our investments, and I'm here to tell you it's time for a frack-free Florida. Just last week, a major U.S. utility committed $25 million in incentives for the commercial solar development in the state of Florida. And across the world, smart investors are putting their money towards the future by investing in renewable resources. Fossil fuels are the new dinosaurs, all over again. 82 years ago, 82, that's almost 100 years. Thomas Edison said, "We're like tenant farmers, chipping down the fence around our house for fuel when we should be using nature's inexhaustible sources of energy, sun, wind, and tide. I'd put my money on the sun," he said 82 years ago. The solar industry currently creates 9 jobs for every 1 job the fossil fuel industry creates. You tell me where you think the future lies. Yeah, baby. Our neighbor to the north, Georgia, is already way ahead of us with solar incentives. The Georgia Public Service Commission approved a plan to buy up 50 megawatts of solar by the end of this year. Why not Florida? Last May, Germany produced 22 gigawatts of solar. That's enough. That's half of the solar in the world, the equivalent of 20 nuclear power plants. Why not Florida? We are the sunshine shade, and it behooves us to either lead the way or get out of the way. We stand at a crossroads. All of us, you, me, people who aren't here, but 75% of people who voted for this. It's time to be active, get out there and do something. So I'm here to tell you, suit up, get in the game. Tell your legislatures we don't need the Sable Trail pipeline going through our Springs heartland or any of Florida's wild beauty. And ask your legislators, why not solar? Ask your legislators, why not Florida? Thank you.
Okay, next up to bat, Bob Knight, Executive Director of the Florida Springs Institute in Gainesville.
Thank you, and thank you for being here today. I know you're all here for Springs. Well, a lot of you are, so thank you for doing that. Representatives of Springs and environmental advocacy groups from throughout Florida met at a Springs Roundtable over the last 2 years. The outcome of these meetings was the formation of the Florida Springs Council last December. The Florida Springs Council is an alliance of alliances. All organizations that focus all or part of their group's energies on Springs issues, and by extension issues that affect the Florida aquifer, can join the Florida Springs Council. The Florida Springs Council will work to ensure the restoration, preservation, and protection of Florida Springs for future generations.
Yay! Yay!
Florida is in an era of water and springs awareness, just like we were Everglades awareness over the last 20 years. The work of authors like Cynthia Barnett, photographers like John Moran, artists like Margaret Tolbert, cinematographers like the late Wes Skiles, newspaper editors like Nathan Crabb, and longtime Springs advocates like Jim Stevenson, who just spoke, are making a real difference in raising the public's awareness of the decline of Florida Springs. This informed public is demanding better from our paid state officials and calling for an end to their denial of a shameful springs and groundwater crisis. The Florida Springs Council will expand on the work underway by all these Springs champions and lead to a greater awareness of and respect for the largest concentration of freshwater springs on the planet. Already the Springs Council has 20 member organizations representing more than 97,000 supporters. If your group supports the goals of the Florida Springs Council, please see Heather Culp or myself for an invitation to join. You're all invited to join. And as Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Thank you for being here today.
Next we have Gary Appleson, Policy Coordinator for the Sea Turtle Conservancy.
Hello everyone. I'm with the Sea Turtle Conservancy, a Gainesville-based sea turtle conservation organization, actually the oldest marine turtle conservation organization in the world. I've been invited to speak about how Amendment 1 will benefit sea turtles. Let's not forget, Amendment 1 includes language to direct funds to acquire, restore, and manage our water resources and our beaches and shores, which of course are all critical to sea turtle survival. How important are Florida's beaches to the recovery of threatened and endangered sea turtles? It's pretty amazing. Over 90% of all sea turtle nesting in the United States occurs in Florida. Virtually all nesting by leatherback turtles and green sea turtles occurs on our beaches. The mid-Atlantic coast of Florida is home to the largest nesting population of loggerhead sea turtles in the world. Last year, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service designated most of Florida's beaches as critical habitat for sea turtles. Without healthy nesting beaches, the recovery of Florida's 3 nesting species of turtles would be in jeopardy. So how can funds allocated through Amendment 1 be used to benefit sea turtles? The funds could be used to protect key beachfront properties through direct purchase of parcels from willing sellers or through the acquisition of less-than-fee-simple conservation easements that ensure the long-term protection of the beach and dune system. No other state, almost no other country, has a beach and dune environment like the state of Florida. Some of these parcels are already on the Florida Forever acquisition list. Funds could also be used to enhance the management of existing coastal parks or to acquire new land for new beachfront parks. A portion of Amendment 1 funds can also be used to help re-nourish and restore critically important sea turtle nesting beaches after major storms erode our sandy shores and completely destroy our dune system. But protecting Florida's sea turtles is about much more than just protecting the beach environment. Juvenile sea turtles, the little smaller ones, the young ones, are found in incredibly large numbers in Florida's vast seagrass beds and throughout our estuaries, our lagoons, and our back bays. After unusually cold air blanketed Florida back in 2010, nearly 5,000 juvenile sea turtles were rescued from our nearshore marine waters after being cold-stunned and rendered comatose by the cold water. This event, for the first time, made many Floridians aware of just how many turtles are utilizing our marine habitats year-round throughout the state. We all know water flows downhill, and in Florida, that means our springs, rivers, and estuaries all empty into the marine environment. Protecting our surface water systems and ensuring clean, pollution-free water also protects the thousands of sea turtles that rely on Florida's coastal waters and all the unique marine habitats that we have. Florida without healthy springs, rivers, and beaches is like Colorado without mountains, or Yellowstone without geysers. At the Sea Turtle Conservancy, we're fond of saying, if it's good for turtles, it's good for Florida. We all want clean water and a healthy marine environment. Amendment 1 is great for Florida, great for Floridians, and good news for Florida's sea turtles. Let's all do our part to make sure the money generated is used wisely, efficiently, and the way voters intended. Sea turtles need clean water and healthy beaches.